Would you be one of those people that gambles away every fucking penny you have no matter what? And then you're in debt and you're terrified and you're like Adam Sandler in Rough Cut Gems or Uncut Gems. Did you see that movie?
Yeah.
Great fucking movie.
Yeah.
And that movie gave me wild anxiety because I was like, I know people like this. I could see this being a real guy. Like, he can't fucking stop. He can't stop. He can't stop gambling.
Yeah.
He's just addicted. It's like, like you imagine that was you. Like when I see a guy like Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems, I imagine I could be that guy.
Really?
Yeah.
With
if I was him living his life.
With gambling.
With gambling. You're that guy living that. You could see that was so well done and well written. You could see the thrill in like the winning. Like occasionally he would win. And then he would lose, and when he'd lose, he's fucking devastated. But when he'd win, he'd be like, "Fuck yeah, fuck yeah."
Yeah. Norm had that. Norm was a gambler. He lost everything like 3 times. And I'm not speaking out of school. Like it's it was documented. He had a real game. He would gamble on, like my friend wrote on one of his shows, and he would gamble if there was no pro football or basketball or whatever, he would be betting on girls' high school basketball.
Jesus.
Yeah. Whatever.
So how does he do that? Does he have a bookie?
Yeah.
So he calls this guy up and go, "What do you got for me?"
Yeah.
And like girls' high school basketball. I was like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, the thrill of gambling is apparently one of the most difficult to kick. People with gambler problems, Gamblers Anonymous, and I think it's a lot like we were talking about with the football players, is the high. Obviously, it's not comparable, but their high, that's their highest of high, is winning at gambling. And then the thrill of chasing money and the wondering whether or not you're going to succeed, and then losing it, and then dodging the bookies and trying to like go to another casino and
that's what they say is a huge part of it. Is it's actually the losing as much as the winning.
Yeah,
it's the fear of what's going to happen when I lose, and then feeling that panic and that low.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's about the low. I
knew so many guys that were gambling junkies from my pool hall days. So many guys, like every day, they'd go to off-track betting, they would come to the pool hall, and they would gamble, they'd play cards. And if they had a job, it was just to scratch up enough money to gamble with.
Yeah.
All they cared about was gambling.
Yeah.
They were just absorbed with it. And it was really interesting.
What kind of gambling?
They would play poker, they would play gin, they would
shoot pool.
They would shoot pool. But the problem with pool is you have to execute. And a lot of guys didn't like that. Like you had to be able to make a shot. And so it's nerves and controlling yourself. A lot of these guys, like their nerves were shattered. So they were just gambling on stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of them were horse bettors. I knew a guy who got barred for life from carriage racing because they caught him standing up while the horse was winning. He was trying to slow the horses down so much he stood up. It was like pulling back on the reins. And they banned him for life. And he was always talking about we called him George the Greek. That was his name was George. He was a Greek guy. The nicknames for people like very obvious. Like was Ray the Fireman, Mount Vernon Tommy. It's like, where are you from? What's your name? And George the Greek was always talking about William Kunstler. He's my attorney. He's gonna take care of him on fucking millions off these cocksuckers. And he was a dirty racer.
Wow.
Like he was corrupt.
Damn.
So he was a part of like
good guy to know.
Fixing rate. No. He was always running some kind of a scam. There was always something going on with one of those guys. They was like, listen, you should invest in this. It's gonna make a lot of money. I'm like, oh yeah. Get the fuck away from me.
There was this guy who was father of my daughter was on a soccer team, and one of the girls' fathers used to come to the games. And he had a brand new red Corvette, and he always had on shiny clothes. And he was a professional gambler. And he would tell me about, like, I'm going to Vegas. He plays poker, and he makes money. And every week, I fucking love talking to this guy. He was just so full of life. And then one day he shows up, and he's in like a 78 Datsun B210 with fucking the wrong quarter panel on it. And I'm like, bad weekend in Vegas? He's like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
He changed pink slips with somebody. Yeah.
Yeah. It can go off the rails. Those gamblers, they're if you're betting high enough and chasing that dragon of excitement, you're probably going to risk it all.
Yeah.
Imagine the thrill of putting your wife's asleep at home. She doesn't even know you're putting your fucking house on a game of roulette. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I was Coming to America was such a fucking great premise. You ever see that movie, that Albert Brooks movie? They leave L.A. It's Albert Brooks, and his wife is the woman from Airplane. Remember the woman who's the star of Airplane? And so they're successful yuppies, and they're making tons of money, and they have a nice house, and they decide to sell everything. They're going to simplify. We're going to buy a mobile home, and we're going to spend the rest of our lives just traveling, living life. So they put all their money into a bank account. They get in the Winnebago. First stop out of L.A. to get to the Grand Canyon is going to be Las Vegas. And so they go down and they play a little bit of blackjack, and she's losing. And then he goes, all right, come on, let's go. And she's like, I can just play one or two more hands. So he goes to bed, and she stays playing, and she's got the bug. She doesn't realize she's got a gambling problem, and she gambles all night, and she loses all their money. The nest, they call it the nest egg.
Oh, I remember that.
The nest egg. You're not allowed to say nest egg. You're not allowed to say egg. You can't say nest. And then he goes to Gary Marshall, who plays the manager of the casino, and he's trying to pitch to him, what if I do a commercial for you guys? And I say, hey, look, you gave the money back to a customer. And it's fucking hilarious. So, so now so that's the first act of the movie. And